Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of My Player. This one is going to be the Copa del Rey final up against Atletico Madrid. So before that, we've got a couple of games to show you that we played as like warm-ups, I guess you could say. It was the derby against Espanyol and then also the second leg against Valencia with the job pretty much already done in the Champions League. So we'll see how these ones pan out, but if we don't get through to a Champions League final at this point, you could literally... I may as well just quit, put it that way. So, yeah, we faced up against Espanyol first in La Liga, and this was the final La Liga game we were going to play before we ended off this season and potentially our last season here at Barcelona, because I know you guys want me to move on, and I've said that myself as well, looking for a new challenge. Fabinho gave us the lead inside 13 minutes with a nicely worked goal, finished off very well indeed by the Brazilian. And then following that, it was Espanyol's turn to have their goal, their attempt at goal, I should say, as Rigo found his teammate here, and they sent one in just before half-time, which was sadly not converted for them. But for Barcelona, it meant they went into the break at 1-0 in front. The second half got underway, and it was Barcelona looking for number 2 as we were sent through from Denis Suarez. On the right foot, Retsos against us. We cut back in on the left and curled it eventually in the top corner to make it 2-0 Barcelona and pretty much secure the 3 points. But at this stage, with the title already done, we weren't really bothered about result. This was just like a warm-up game to get us sort of in the mood, ready for the next 2 games to come. And it actually worked out, because Espanyol did actually get a goal back for themselves. So fair play to them, because I did not expect to see them score. So it proved pivotal that we got that second goal. Otherwise, we would have gone on to draw the game, potentially, as it was a really weird one. The ball stolen back off us, sent through, and they finished it. It was so fast that we actually didn't get to see it in normal speed, so we had to watch it back in the replay to see the finish of this one, because we actually lost the ball here with Cucurella trying to play his way out. He gave it away, and there was the shot that found its way into the bottom corner. So it ended up being 2-1 Barcelona, the victory in this first game, the goal as well to get us a little bit of confidence moving forward, and I believe that is our final goal we will score of La Liga this season, and we will see if that's going to be enough for the Golden Boot, even though it is going to be enough, because there's no way that the second place guy is going to score something stupid like 14 goals in the next 3 games, because that's how far behind they are. So, yeah, I highly doubt that that's going to happen. But following that, we went into the next one, Valencia. I substituted myself off at half-time, came off, and Alba Ruiz took his spot in the team for that one, and he actually went on to score the opening goal with 18 minutes left. The game, like I said, was pretty much done in leg 1. All we had to do was see this one out, and we would be through to the Champions League final. It then was made sure of with that goal, but then Valencia got one back. Morata to Torres. Torres' shot coming back off the post. It came to Hazard, and from a tight angle, he put it in the back of the net. That is Thorgan Hazard, not Eden, for you guys out there wondering. And it went to 1-1, and that was the way the game finished. So 5-1 aggregate win for Barcelona means they move on to the Champions League final, which means we have a chance at the treble. We've got the Copa del Rey coming at you right now in the live portion, and then following that, the Champions League final in the next episode. So to end off today's episode, I'm handing it over to myself for the live comm of the Copa del Rey. Enjoy it, guys. Here we go then, guys. So, as you guys saw, we simmed past the last 2 games of La Liga, winning them both 2-0. That was to avoid injury and because we didn't need to play them anyway. If you remember last season, we got to a Carabao Cup final of Arsenal and sadly missed it through injury, so I didn't want to risk that again here. So, the end of today's episode is going to be the Copa del Rey final, and then we will move into the Champions League final next time out. So, there is some things that have happened in terms of the La Liga, obviously with the season ending. We will now get to see who wins what, who does what, and all that good stuff. So, season's done. We won the league. Finally got the achievements for that. I don't know why we didn't already have the achievements for winning the league. Should have had that ages ago. Team of the competition announced. We will see that and see who's won what. I believe we will have been in the player of the competition, because after 32 or 33 goals in 30-odd games, that's a ridiculous tally, you know. And we are in the team of the year. We got winning the Golden Boot with 33 goals. Ter Stegen won goalkeeper of the tournament, and we won player of the tournament. That is not surprising at all. But to end today's episode then, guys, let's jump into the Copa del Rey final up against Atletico and see who will lift this. This is for us to do the double, potentially moving on to the treble with the Champions League final, where we've been drawn against Man City. But it's also time as well for Atletico to potentially take this one off, as I'm going to change my celebration before we get into this as well. So I'll see you in a second. And it's time. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for this Copa del Rey final. You may have noticed the trophy moments ago that we actually are playing for. You may have not yet, because we haven't had a great look at it just at the minute. But Thomas Lemar, player to the watch here for this one. Looks like it's been held at the Santiago Bernabeu again. I feel like we've played here numerous times now. We've played here quite often, and that is the starting 11 then that Atletico do have. Jan Oblak starts in goal. Hakimi, De Vrij, Pavard and Johnny as the back line. Martins, Diawara, Sol and Lamar, Luka Jovic and Romero lead the line for them. A few interesting substitutes as well should they need to call upon them. And for us, our side is very strong. Let's just say that. I actually didn't show you it coming into game because I wanted to wait for this here. But it's probably the best 11 that we could have picked of Barcelona. And we are wearing the away kit today as well. So it's not an away game for us, but it is in Madrid. So Atletico is significantly less to travel, I guess you could say. But that is our side. Calabria, Christensen, Titi, Cucurella as the back line with, of course, Stegen in goal. Fabinho, Artur and Kessie in the midfield. Coutinho, myself, then Bele as the front three. And that is how we line up then. The two sides ready. Doesn't look like we're going to get to look at the trophy. We will see if we are not going to get to see the trophy before we kick off then. We did actually get a little glimpse of it, but not sure if I left that in there or not because it was very quick. But still, let's get underway then for the Copa del Rey. And this is the moment we could do the double, or Atletico could take some bragging rights off of us by beating us here. Immediate chance for Luka Jovic as to Stegen. Literally minutes into the game as the first opportunity very nearly fell the way as Luka Jovic. But ter Stegen quick off his line. Needs to react very quickly today. It's going to be an interesting one, this one. Atletico are a good side, one that you can't mess around with against. They've possessed real threat on the counter as well as being able to control the play too. So it will not be a case of us having it all our way here today. And we're now 20 minutes into the game and both sides controlling it when they get it, and then one moment that they give the ball away. Tell you what, Atletico aren't wanting to have this ball for too long. They are very quick when it comes to crafting their chance. It's normally 3 or 4 passes and they're into a good area, as they are again here. Hakimi, though, dispossessed by Cucurella, and this gives Barcelona the opportunity to break away. Coutinho, poor ball by all accounts in the end, and we can't return it back to him. Hakimi gets back to his defensive standpoint to do quite well. But I did feel that that ball in from Coutinho was actually fairly poor because I was making the run. If he'd have been able to find us better, we would have been through on goal. He plays it slightly behind us. It's disappointing from Coutinho. It's his first time really having a say on the match, and he hasn't been able to come up with the goods as Atletico in control down the right now then. Gelson Martins ball in. Titi to head clear, and we should be okay. Fabinho in towards Artur to Kessie, and that was a chance. Oblak will catch with ease, but in the circumstances, Kessie are just ghosting in the box and allowing, well, they allowed us the time to be able to find him with a good pass. And if he'd have connected with a shot a little bit better, maybe that was 1-0. Found by Coutinho here as we put it back on the right foot and in towards the area, finding the ball back to Coutinho again. And another chance for Barcelona, another one gone begging. I was asking the questions, but at the minute, no answer found. Coutinho, did that take a touch there? I'd like to say yes, but the goal kick's been given. Maybe it was just a poor shot from Philippe Coutinho. Here is Diawara, just finding the feet of Sol. He's going to find Romero. Maxi trying to find the ball through to Jovic. It's easily dispossessed, and since then, it's been Barcelona with a spell of possession as Dembele is going to find us as we go up against De Vrij. Turn on the inside of him. De Vrij beaten, and we curl one into the top corner in the Copa del Rey final. We've had our say on the match. And Atletico Madrid are 1 down just before half-time. We got 1-on-1 with De Vrij. The first time we've been able to do that tonight. We turn on the inside of him with a spin and finesse it to the top corner. No chance for Jan Oblak. Atletico down by 1-0. And they will now have to find a way back into the match. But what a finish that is. Right in the top corner. Out of the top drawer. I will take that with both hands. Thank you very much. What a finish. Come on. And there's not going to be any chance, I don't think, of Atletico getting a goal back before the break, because that should be it now as the referee will bring it to a close. First half done, and it is Barcelona who lead at half-time, courtesy of our strike. More of that in the second half, and we will be crowned Copa del Rey champions, and we will do the domestic double. And then hopefully, moving on to next episode, potentially the treble with the Champions League final. But you can see at the break, it is one-way traffic so far, and Barcelona are in complete control of the match. But now that it means that Madrid have to come out a little bit more and sort of try and get a goal, possibly that will then swing the way this game plays out. Because up until that point, we've controlled the play. But now with Atletico having to come forward, game plan might have to switch. Here is Calabria, though. We'll look back inside to Dembele, which brings the ball under control. Calabria again puts the cross into Artur. Oh, and he's so close to finding number 2. That was unbelievable play. Really good ball in as well from Calabria, right into that corridor of uncertainty, and it was asking the question. Artur so close to reaching it as well. Diego Costa comes on for well, I'll call them the home side. They are in Madrid. They're not at their home ground, though. And it's Luka Jovic who's made way. I think it should have actually been maybe Romero, Maxi Romero, but for the most part, they've gone with Luka Jovic. He's looked lively when he's been on the ball, but he hasn't been in it in really dangerous areas. Costa, though, straight into the play, into the thick of things, and gets the ball into the middle, which is headed out by Christensen. But it's now Madrid coming forward. Atletico asking questions. Lamar's header goalwards to Stegen catches. And that's their first opportunity of the second half. It won't be their last, I don't think. Oh my god, it's 2-0! Artur scored! Barcelona take a second, and I wasn't even focusing because I didn't think we were going to score. I saw Calabria take it down the right, but he ran into 3 players from Atletico, and I thought that's going to be it. He's going to give the ball away, but then he whips the cross in, and Artur from nowhere just arrives on it. He's not even on your screen at this point. There he is now, just popping up, and he finishes it off on the slide. That might just do it for Barcelona. And like I said, I didn't expect that because I just did not see him in the middle of the box until he came out of nowhere and got on the end of the cross from Calabria, who'd whipped him one earlier on in the match in a really dangerous area. And it was a similar type of thing. Artur then, though, was unable to get on the end of it. And that might sink Atletico. 12 minutes left and it's 2-0. Here is Martins, now Costa. Diawara through. Maxi's going to pull a goal back, though. Game back on, 9 minutes left. Romero with a finish. From nowhere as well, similar to Artur's. I just don't know how they've crafted that. Barcelona will be disappointed with themselves defensively, but Atletico needed that goal back. There's still 9 minutes left of this game. Is there enough time for them to mount the comeback that might just take this one step further? There is the ball inside, and there is the finish from Romero. There's 9 minutes left. Do not let this slip, Barca. And here is Lamar. Last 5 then, and then it's going to be a tense 5 at that. Lamar and Costa keep it. Now Johnny arriving on the attack. Atletico, you're going to see commit more men forward now because they realise it's last chance saloon. Lamar's ball in, and Titi heads it clear. It's not fully out though. Dembele backwards towards Calabria, gets it back from him as well. Dembele sends it on the inside. And Barcelona get very lucky, the ball into touch, but there's the last few minutes now until the referee will end this one off and crown Barcelona as champions in the Copa del Rey. Ball over the top from Artur, is not going to reach as Pavard struggling to bring it down. We need to put the pressure on him to not allow him out easy. Last minute of the game now as they're going to play it back and waste their time here. The press has worked and that's going to be it, surely. There is the full-time whistle. Barcelona crowned champions of Spain in La Liga and the Copa del Rey now. Artur's goal is proving to be the pivotal one of the night. Arrived from nowhere and got himself in the position to finish it. And this is what it means to the players. Let's enjoy the moment. And that's only step one, my friends, because we move from here to the Champions League final next episode. That is going to be its own video up probably tomorrow, if not definitely the day after that. So make sure you have those notification bells turned on so you guys can know when that video goes out. But that is it for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, a like, rating would be greatly appreciated. As always, thank you for your continued support on the channel. Really appreciate that as well. If you are new around here and like what you see, hit that subscribe button down below. We upload every single day, so make sure you are following us on the channel. Until next time, guys, I'll see you all for the Champions League final very, very soon. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. Adios.